Today, I'll give you 12 extremely boring businesses that almost always make millionaires. Nobody dreams of owning, say, a septic truck, and that's exactly why the guy that owns 3 of them is so rich. I own a golf course in northern Kentucky nowadays, and you're welcome. Come play around with me. And it took 38 years of unglamorous businesses to earn it. Wins and losses both. Here's what those years taught me. The flashy ideas broke hearts. The boring ones built houses and retired their owners early. If you want a real shot at wealth without inventing anything or going viral, this is your map, and I'll show you how to start every business on it. I saved the biggest sleeper for the last, so let's go right through them. Here's the pattern behind all 12. Boring means overlooked. Overlooked means less competition, and less competition means steady money that stacks up year after year. Millionaires get made in businesses nobody brags about because the demand never dries up and the customers keep paying while everyone else chases the shiny thing. Getting there takes time, and that's fine because it's a marathon, not a sprint. So let's start with lawn care and snow removal. You cut grass all season, you plow and salt all winter, and the same customer pays you 12 months in a year. It's boring because there's nothing glamorous about mowing, and that's the point, because nobody fights you for the route. A 2-man crew brings in, say, $150,000 to $200,000 a year. The owner running 2 or 3 crews clears $100,000 to $150,000 just for himself, and the business itself becomes something you can sell one day and top. A 2-man crew brings in $150,000 to $200,000 a year. The owner running 2 or 3 crews clears $100,000 to $150,000 for himself, and the business itself becomes something you can sell one day on top of the income. Routes stacked on routes. That's the wealth plan. Here's how you start it. Start with the mower you already own and 10 houses on one street, then put the money back into a trailer, a second mower, and your first helper. Commercial accounts come once you can show a year of showing up on time. I learned the power of a mowed lawn at my own store. I mowed my own grass on the busy road right where everybody could see me, and the customers bought from me because the owner, I was a regular person, out sweating like they do. Grass is never just grass. It's the first thing people judge. Quick secret before the marketing move, because it applies to every one of these businesses. It's called guerrilla marketing, winning with creativity and word of mouth instead of a big advertising budget. So the small operator outmarkets the big one by being memorable and getting people talking. I used it my whole career. Here's how you apply it to lawn care. Pick the worst looking yard on a busy street and mow it for free, and put a small sign out in the yard for 1 week with permission. Everyone who drives by will see it, the before and then the after with your name on it. 1 free cut, a whole street of customers. The next one is a moving company. People move every single day of the year, and they will pay good money for careful hands and a truck that shows up. It's boring because you're literally moving cardboard boxes around, and no show on television will ever be made about it. Each truck produces $120,000 to $220,000 a year. A local move pays $600 to $1,500, and the owner running 5 or 6 trucks with trained crews has a 7-figure operation worth over $1 million a year, and that's coming in every year, and hasn't lifted a couch in years. Here's how you sell it. Start with labor-only moves, loading and unloading trucks people rent for themselves, which needs nothing but muscle and care. Put the money into your first used box truck and let each truck fund the next. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Make the real estate agents your sales force. Agents hand out your name if you make them look good. So give every agent in town a stack of branded packing tape rolls for the clients. Cheap, useful, and your name is literally sealed onto every box in the house. Next up is seal coating and parking lot striping. Every driveway and every parking lot in America fades and cracks on schedule, and somebody has to keep them black and lined. It's boring because black goo and painted lines might be the dullest work in America, and the work never runs out because asphalt starts aging the very day it's poured. A routine restripe will pay $500 to $1,000. A mid-sized commercial seal coat runs $3,600 to $5,000, and every lot needs it done again in 2 to 4 years. So 30 or 40 regular business customers is a customer list that resells itself on schedule for as long as you own it. Run 2 crews through a list like that, lot after lot, all season, and the yearly sales cross $1 million. Here's how to start it. The gear to start is modest. a striping machine, and sealing supplies. And driveways are your training ground. Do residential work until your lines are perfect, then walk into small plazas with photos. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Property managers notice one thing before anything else: faded handicap spots, because these bring fines. Photograph the 5 worst lots in town. Mail each manager their own photo with a note that says, "I can fix this on Thursday." You're selling the fix to a problem. Now they are staring at it. Quick pause. What is guerrilla marketing? I'll tell you what it is. It's fun. It pulls in your staff. It pulls in your customers. It pulls in everybody. The whole operation becomes part of the show. And do I still use it? Oh, you bet I do. My golf course right now, today, I'm running guerrilla marketing on it as we speak. And here's what as we speak looks like. My sales are up 20.8%. That's an extra $105,248 in my pocket today. Now, here's the part folks don't believe. You want to know what I spend to make that happen? Oh, around $750. $750 in, $105,000 out. Yeah, I'm going to take that every day, because remember, business is a system, marketing is a system, work the system, and you will not fail. So you want to find out what guerrilla marketing can do for your business? Click on the link below and let's have a conversation. And by the way, you're not going to be talking to somebody else, not some assistant, not some chat bot. You're going to be talking to me. All right, another one is towing. Cars break down in every economy, every hour, in every town, and somebody has to come and get them. It's boring because nobody grows up dreaming about a wrecker and a winch at 2 a.m., and that keeps the field thin. I mean, come on, think about it. Few competitors, because you're doing real work. A tow pays $75 to $125. A busy truck runs 5 to 7 of them a day, and that adds up to a couple $100,000 a year with a single truck. The wealth lives in the contracts. The roadside clubs like AAA, the list police call for accident scenes, apartment lot agreements, and company fleets. And the operator running 4 or 5 trucks on accounts, on contracts, owns a 7-figure business. And here's how to start it. One used wrecker is the honest way in. And yes, that's a real purchase. So many operators start by driving for an established company first, learning the trade on somebody else's truck, then buying their own with a book of knowledge already built in. How would I use guerrilla marketing for this? Start with donuts. Once a month, take a box to the 10 busiest repair shops in town, along with a stack of magnet cards for the counter, because every shop gets asked, do you know a tow guy? The shop that recommends you becomes your unpaid sales force. The next business is scrap metal and e-waste recycling. You haul away what businesses and homeowners consider junk. It's boring because you're literally just recycling metal and e-waste, which is exactly why almost nobody competes with you. You get paid twice on every load, once by the customer that take that stuff away, and once at the yard for the metal. And anything with copper in it, well, it pays a premium. The solo hauler earns a living. The operator with standing pickup agreements at shops and offices, job sites, and property managers turn steady truckloads into serious money, and the ones who grow into a small yard of their own, buying from other haulers and selling by the ton, are the millionaires of this world. Here's how to start it. If you have access to a pickup, you can start this week. Post free appliance and electronics pickup, learn what the yard will pay for it, and put the money into a trailer and a magnet sign. How do I do this with guerrilla marketing? Offices hold on to old electronics because wiping the data scares them. And that fear, well, that's your opening. Offer a free pickup day with a signed destruction receipt for their hard drives. The receipt costs you paper, and that's the reason the office manager picks you over the guy with just a truck. Stick with me, because the next one is mandated by law, and that's restaurant hood cleaning. You degrease the exhaust hoods and the vents above commercial kitchens. It's boring because the work is grease at midnight after the kitchen closes, and almost nobody wants it. But fire code requires the cleaning on schedule every 3 months for busy, high-volume kitchens, and at least twice a year for most restaurants. So the demand is written into law. A single hood cleaning pays $400 to $600, which makes 100 kitchens coming due 2 to 4 times a year, $150,000 to $200,000 of repeat work. And the regional companies serving hundreds of kitchens run 7 figures. And here's how to start it. The certification is modest, and the starter gear is a degreaser, pressure setup, and tarps. Land 2 or 3 independent kitchens, do spotless work with before and after photos, and let the schedule stack itself. I own fried chicken restaurants, so I've been the customer here. A kitchen owner cannot legally skip this, and what he wants is simple. Show up when you said you would and leave the paperwork for the fire inspector. The company that nails those two things will keep the contracts coming for years. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Let your paperwork do the selling. After every job, leave a dated inspection-ready photo report clipped to the hood with your name on the folder. When the fire inspector walks in, your work introduces itself, and inspectors talk to every restaurant in town. The next one is septic and grease trap pumping. Homes on septic systems and restaurants with grease traps all fill up on a schedule that never stops. It's boring because I don't have to explain why nobody wants this one, and that's precisely why it pays. About 1 in 5 American homes runs on a septic tank, over 21 million of them. Every tank needs pumping every, say, 3 to 5 years, and a visit will pay $300 to $600. Run that math on a few thousand tanks on file, and you'll see why the man with the pump truck is wealthier than half the professionals in town. Here's how to start it. The pump truck is a real cost, so the honest on-ramp is grease traps first, where the starter equipment is far smaller, or driving for an established pumper to learn the trade before buying a used truck of your own. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Well, nobody remembers when their tank was last pumped, so become the reminder. Send every customer a simple card when their date comes due, already scheduled, just confirm. You start selling and start renewing, and the neighbors ask who the truck in the driveway belongs to. Another one for you, equipment and trailer rental. Homeowners and small contractors need a trailer, an aerator, or a mini excavator for one weekend, and buying them makes no sense. It's boring because steel sitting in a gravel lot earning while you sleep. A $10,000 dump trailer rents for $125 to $165 a day, so 100 rental days pays the whole trailer off inside the first year, and everything after that buys the next unit. Keep reinvesting until 40 or 50 units are turning, and you've built a fleet that pays you every weekend for decades. Here's how to start it. Start with 2 used utility trailers, which cost far less than the dump trailers, and list them everywhere local. Every dollar of rent goes towards the next unit, and the fleet builds itself one weekend at a time. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Park your best trailer at the busiest hardware store lot with permission and a big rate sign rented right where the people realize that they need it. The parking spot becomes your billboard, and it costs you a handshake with the store owner. The next business is a fencing company. Privacy fences, farm fences, chain link, and pool fencing, and the demand renews every time a storm leans one over or a new subdivision goes in. It's boring because you're digging post holes, winning no glamour awards, and the jobs pay more than people think. The average backyard privacy fence will run anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000, with most jobs landing around $4,000. So a single crew doing 2 fences a week is a $400,000 a year operation, and 3 crews with the home builder feeding you work pushes the yearly sales past $1 million. Here's how you do it. The skill is learnable in one season, so work on a fence crew first if you can. Then start with the small residential jobs where your material bill is manageable and your workmanship photos become the sales pitch. Here's how I would do it with guerrilla marketing. The fence itself is your billboard. Every finished job gets a small branded post cap on the corner nearest the street. Free upgrade with permission. The fence advertises for 20 years, and the neighbors touch the product before they ever call you. Next up is a tire shop. Every vehicle on the road wears out 4 tires at a time on repeat forever. It's boring because tires are as unglamorous as retail gets, and the math underneath them is beautiful. A well-run shop keeps 10 to 20 cents on every dollar as profit. The tires bring in each customer back over and over on a predictable cycle, while rotations and repairs fill the gaps, and shops sell for 3 to 5 times the owner's yearly earnings when you're ready to walk away and sell that thing. 2 or 3 solid stores makes the millionaire math work. And here's how to start it. You don't have to build one from the ground up. Small independent tire shops come up for sale constantly, and it's usually when the owner wants to retire, and buying a tired little shop with seller financing where the retiring owner lets you pay him over time, then cleaning up the service is a classic way in. A mobile tire swap trailer is the even smaller first step. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Free flat repair for anyone, forever, no purchase needed. It costs you minutes. It saves someone's whole day, and every person you rescue tells a story. Nobody drives past a shop that saved them to buy tires somewhere else. All right, stay with me here because the next one might be the strongest wealth machine on the entire list, and that's an insurance agency. You help families and business owners get covered, and you get paid on renewals. It's boring. Oh, it's boring because policies and paperwork, they put people like me to sleep, and the renewal is the entire secret. Independent agents, they typically walk away with 10 to 15% of what the customer pays, and the renewal pays again every single year the customer stays. So a sale you made once keeps paying a decade later. On top of that, when you're done, that customer list sells for 2 to 3 times what it brings in every year, which means the agency itself becomes your retirement. Here's how to start it. The license takes weeks of study and you grow into it. Many agents start under an established agency. They learn their book and they build their own client list before stepping out. I'll say one thing from hard experience. I lost a store to a flood without coverage that I needed. Couldn't get it. And I can tell you the agent who makes sure an owner is truly protected is doing sacred work. Owners never forget the person who got that right. How would I use this guerrilla marketing? Give the checkup away. Offer a free coverage review with a one-page scorecard of what's covered, what's exposed in plain English. No pressure to switch. Half the people you review discover a gap, and the person who found it is the person that they will buy from. And one more, RV and boat storage. Neighborhoods won't let their people park campers and boats in their driveway a lot of times, so owners pay every month, year round, to park them behind your fence. It's boring because the business is rows of parked campers behind a fence, and the fence does most of the work. An outdoor spot rents for $75 to $150 a month. Covered spots will run from $125 to $200 a month. So a lot holding 100 rigs collects $10,000 to $15,000 a month, while the land underneath it grows in value, and you, the owner, well, you're at home probably watching the ball game. Fill 200 spaces and add covered rows, and you're running a 7-figure piece of ground. Here's how to start it. The way in is cheap land on the edge of town, gravel, a good fence, a gate with the keypad, and lights. Start with 1 row, fill it, and let the rent build the next row. I can tell you right now where I'm at, that outside this door, there's a fence with gravel and RVs and campers and trucks sitting right there. And the people that own these units, every owner complains about the same thing. There's nowhere to keep the thing. The HOA won't allow it, and the driveway won't fit it, and the man with a safe lit lot solves the problem. Every camper owner in the country has. How would I do this with guerrilla marketing? Let the RV dealers sell it for you. Ask every RV and boat dealer in the county to hand your card to buyers at signing with 1 month free, because a new owner discovers on day 1 that the thing doesn't fit at home, or the HOA reaches out. You're the answer to the first problem they ever have with it. Seriously, they buy it. Where do I take it? They bring it to you. So that's a list. 12 extremely boring businesses, and every one of them builds wealth the same way, with demand that never dries up and money that stacks year after year while flashier ideas come and go. Nobody claps when you buy a pump truck, but that doesn't matter at the bank. Pick the one that fits your town and your temperament. Give it the years it deserves, and remember that there's always a way forward. If you want my help picking the right business for you, let's talk. I'll do a free strategy call, owner to owner, no pressure. The link's below, and spots are limited because you'll be talking to me and not somebody else. If this helped you, please hit that like button so more people who feel stuck can find videos like this. And tell me in the comments which boring business you'd be proud to own. I'm Dave Bay. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I'll see you in the next one.